Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Crumplebottom Files. Today, we are jumping into part two of Crumplebottom Jeans, where we attempt to blow the lid off of Agnes Crumplebottom's head, honestly. So, like I said the last time, I thought that she disliked children, but when we ran the daycare center, we realized that she was actually just a loner and a hothead. So, hmm. Anyway, we are jumping in. So now, of course, this is part two. We've already had four babies with Agnes. How did we pull that off in 1 week, you ask? Because she had triplets. Okay. She did not just have baby one, she had baby one through three. And then, of course, when one comes out, one goes back in. So then she gave birth to number four and she's pregnant with number five. Do I think this is going to get extremely chaotic? Absolutely, you guys. We've already had the nanny come in multiple times. We have already had the nanny come in multiple times. We have had to halt the making of our ceramic. As you can see, the house is looking a little bit drab. Okay, we can't quite finish anything that we start. And of course, the nanny has just left. So, it's wonderful. Yeah, so we are a little bit in over our heads at this time. But who doesn't love the infants? Me. But yeah, so we're going in. We do have one through three. They are infants. So as we know, they will be aging up to toddlers this week, and, the babies don't stay babies for long anymore, so that, number 4 will also be aging up into an infant at some point, and then probably a toddler maybe by the end of the week. They're not really infants for long, but the length of time that they remain infants is, like, like, it's long enough. It's long enough. So, here's the thing, because I don't like to have children's different ages in the same room, this is going to be a struggle. So, we are going to have one room for the infants, one room for the toddlers, and one room to hold the kids, with, like, bunk beds. Um, and the baby, I don't know, like, she's gonna have to move out into the hall at this point. I don't really know what we're gonna do with the baby, but we'll figure it out because there's gonna constantly be babies, I would say. Now, what is the thought process behind this? Um I guess we're kinda doing like a 100 baby for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, but I get it's looking a little different for Agnes. Now, here's the thing. Yes, she's an elder. I play with the RPO mod, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a mod that revamps the entire relationship and pregnancy system, and it allows teens and elders to become pregnant. Now, obviously, there's a risk of pregnancy loss, and, there's, like, a whole slew of other things that come with it, but we I we had to go and edit the settings of the pregnancy loss because we were noticing that elders tend to lose their babies, okay? I have not had a successful elder pregnancy. Now, obviously, that would make a bit of sense realistically, but, um, for the sake of this challenge, we went and removed that for her. So we just removed the pregnancy loss option for her so that we could do this. Now, how are we gonna do this? So it looks like Agnes is living longer than normal Sims. We did notice that she is indeed aging while she's pregnant, so it's not saving us anything by doing that. So we really have to rely on the youth potion. So we are gonna keep going until we can't go no mo, okay? And essentially, it means we'll keep having to buy the youth potion. So every time we get that notification that her life is, like, make the most of her final days and stuff like that, we will use the youth potion and bring her all the way back to the beginning and keep going. I don't know if we will make it to 100 babies with her, but we'll see, okay? We're already on baby number 5 here. Bills are coming in, and guys, we're poor. We're poor, and the nanny's left again, but guess what? The floor is clean, alright? We have a fully functioning bathroom. I do think that eventually we will have to expand this house somewhat, like, there's gonna be 7 kids in the house constantly, so I feel like we'll need another bathroom, but for now, this works. We you know, we started with, like, the regular funds, and we placed a house that I had built, like, a long time ago. It needs a little bit of reshaping, okay, and revamping and, like, a lot of little things, but we're trying to buy quality, and so as you see, we're just buying little bits and bobs, but we're buying better quality items, they're just more expensive, so we do need to keep working, we do need to also make sure that she's getting her satisfaction points because 'cause we're gonna need those for the youth potion, and normally, elders only live for, like, what, 2, maybe 3 weeks? But when we go and check it, like, she's aging, but her age meter isn't moving that much, so I don't know if, um yeah, I don't know if it's she's one of those Sims that lives longer than most, maybe? Um, so I did just go in and edit because it looked like she wasn't actually, like, progressing in her pregnancy, so I just put her on, like, 3rd trimester because she was already pregnant when we got here, and she hadn't adjusted in the 24 hours that we were there. So I just went and changed it, okay, guys? Um, and as you know, she cannot be, artificially inseminated. We discovered that when we first came in here on episode 1. So we are cheating the pregnancy, okay, in the same form, alright? Just pretend like we went for insemination. We are choosing the same guy every time, and it's Akira Kibo. And so he is the father of all of these children that she is having. So he's on a whole other journey, on the other side of the game, and we have not touched his family, but he is also having 100 babies, okay? Or however many we can have, I guess, until we can't stop, but or until we have to stop, but he's also on this journey, he's not involved, we have not met him, the kids don't know him, he just sends them gifts in the mail. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. And of course, we call the nanny again because that's what it's all about, because we need to make some money, because we need so many things. We need toddler beds for sure. We're also going to need bunk beds. We need to finish this kitchen, guys. It's looking very drab. We need, a table for the kids to sit at when they're doing their homework and stuff. The living room, guys, when when the children reach when the kids are children, like, they need a space to go and have fun and do all of these things, learn, yeah, have fun, learn, have a space to kinda just hang out, but, I also want the satisfaction points for other things because as we know, elders actually lose their motives, like, their motives go down quite quickly. As you see, Agnes, like, wets herself on the regular. I mean, yes, she's pregnant, but pregnant on top of being an elder where she's already losing her needs, like, super quickly is extremely painful, to be honest. Like, we bought her a better quality bed last time, but I don't even think that that's enough. Like, I think we need better bed than that. We need maybe the most expensive bed out there to get the 10 out of 10 experience, you know? Um, at this point, what am I rating this? I mean, I'd probably give this a 7. She's pretty wrung through. Even though she doesn't look like it, she's pretty well spent. And of course, we are trying to keep up and we don't want her to pass out, okay? We don't want anything bad to happen to the kids, right? But I definitely feel it. I don't know if she feels it, but I think she is. I think she is. 'Cause she is wetting herself. She rarely gets a good night's sleep. She's mostly focused on, like, other things other than herself. And she's just going through the motions, okay, guys? And she has not reached the stage yet where she does not want any more children, but I think we're just gonna avoid that because I don't know. I think I wouldn't mind if she was, like, neutral, but she's still, like, happy to have a child. Bless her. She's about to have number 5. She's about to have like, look at this. See, she already has to go back to the bathroom. It's a lot of work. She's not getting much done out of her life. She's not enjoying the last of her years, let's just say. But yeah, so, I mean, what is the focus at this point? Just making money to pay the nanny, essentially, and buy those toddler beds. I really, really do want to work on the kitchen, but I know that the toddlers are also going to need somewhere to play. There's the rabbit again. Hello, wild rabbit. It's one's birthday. Do you know what that means? It's everybody's birthday. Everybody except for 4, obviously. When she gave birth to those triplets, I didn't even have time to digest before she needed to dive into the slew, of, of things that she had to do for them. She rarely got sleep. It was a rough time for her, I feel. Um, but yeah, we're making it. Okay, so let's age up 1, 2, and then 3. The right number. Look at her. She has to go to the washroom again. It's because she's soon gonna give birth, isn't it? Better not be multiples again, Agnes, because I can't handle that. Like, you're hiring the nanny, but he's holding on by a thread, okay? He is holding on by a thread. Oh, no, she's into labor. Goodness. We are struggling, guys. It's currently the struggle bus. It's a boy. So boys are still possible, even though in the apocalypse challenge, we have yet to see one. All right, and now we're going back in and we're putting another one into her. Another bun in that oven, girl. All right, Agnes is indeed pregnant once again. Look at her. She's walking with a slight hunch in her back. I don't blame you, sweetheart. Like, I would be too. Right. So we are putting the child in the room where she'll be working, and we are going to use that other space to put the toddler beds because we need 3 toddler beds. Really, we need more than that because 4 is coming on pretty quick, to be honest. So we're going to place a potty chair because that's the bare minimum at this point. Um, I don't think we have enough food for them, but we're gonna start with what we have so that Agnes can get some sleep because she's in rough shape at the moment. So, oh my. So here's the thing with the regular 100 baby challenge, like you guys, this is not my favorite challenge. Okay. So I don't really know it that well. I have done it once many moons ago. When I was on TikTok, I did the 100 baby challenge and then I had started the apocalypse challenge afterwards. But I had to stop at one point and I never went back to TikTok and just started my YouTube channel. So, from what I remember, obviously there were no infants at that time, but the toddlers, I believe you could age them up after they reach level 3 in all skills, and then the kids once they reached a grade A, and the teenagers the same, I think it was. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's how it was, but, like, correct me if I'm wrong, please and thank you. For the sake of the toddlers, we are just going to let them age up, and when we get notified that it's, like, almost their birthday, we are just gonna make them a cake, okay? So, that's how we're going to be playing that, and for the children, I think I'm gonna follow those rules, like, those initial rules in the settings, of the 100 baby challenge. I think that once the children reach a grade of A, I will age them up simply because, um, it's extremely time consuming, and now, like, the ages have been extended for normal lifespan, so what used to be, you know for example, the teenagers used to be teens for, like, what, 14, 15 days, and now it's, like, 21. So, yeah, we're on a timer with Agnes, and so it's important to kinda keep track of that, whereas, for members right now, we're doing the 100 Vlad challenge, so if you're interested in seeing that, you can become a member. The lowest membership gets you access to all the videos. But yeah, we have Vlad can now carry a child, and so we are doing an artificial insemination of 100 babies with Vlad. We are making him a trendy dad, and it is interesting. Honestly, with him, I'm interested to see, like, how many of his kids are actually gonna be vampires, but, I also don't understand everybody's love for him, so this was kind of a way for me to do that. So it's kind of interesting, but yeah, so with Vlad, obviously, we're not on a timer, he's a young adult, he doesn't age in the same way that other Sims do, he ages by day, but he's permanently a young adult. So we're not stressed out about that. With Agnes, she's an elder, so, like, it's not just worried about a birthday coming, like, this is the end of days for her, so we need to keep an eye on that, and, if we wanna complete the challenge, we have to try to follow the rules in that sense. So, we will be following that with the children. If they reach grade A, we will we will age them up, birthday cake style. "Oh, bye, young rabbit. Oh, please don't poop in the house. Please, please, please." Yeah, same with the teenagers. Once they reach, like, school grade A, out they go. Alright, so we've got we've got 3 toddlers, an infant, and a baby. Things are not that bad, to be honest. You know, I don't hate toddlers, but it took me a while to figure out how they work and what works best for them. I do know that there is a display fridge, like the display refrigerator that would really help us out, so we'll probably put one in the kitchen eventually, but right now it's not our top priority. Like, we need another toddler bed. I really wanna get an oven because if not, we can't make any cakes, and I want the oven to match the fridge, and that's, like, 3,500 simoleons, and we were almost there in the first part. We were almost there, but then I decided that she needed a better bed because she was it was bad. So, we skipped out on the oven and got the bed, and good thing, honestly, because I don't think we'd still be here for part 2. But yeah, everybody's meeting the new sibling, and I think some of them are happy and some of them are sad. All right, discipline your toddler, child, or teen 5 times. Okay, so for example, that mess that was made. Okay. It's Five's birthday. Like, I'm not overly worried at the moment about, um, uh, yeah, I'm not overly worried right now. We do have 800 satisfaction points, but eventually we will have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, crack down on that. But for now, I'm really just concerned about the money and setting up the house. 5 aged up. Okay. So now we're gonna sell that. All the toddlers are angry. I have made them all independent, I will say that. So all the kids are independent, the toddlers anyway, so that they can use the potty. So every now and again when I remember to do something with them, they can actually go potty on their own, which is nice. And then eventually they'll just do it on their own, which will help us immensely, but I don't think I don't think that's gonna happen with the first 3, there's just too many of them at this point. Like, what a way to start off this series with a bang. Triplets, natural triplets. There's no lot trait for, like, on lay lane. We don't have that. She doesn't have anything that's, like, fertile or anything of the sort, to be honest. She is just she's just living her best life. Alright. So, she's in rough shape a little bit, so we're gonna use the bathroom. At least we made it this time, and then we're gonna get some food and send her off to bed while the children are sleeping. The odds of them sleeping through the night are so they're so slim. They're so slim, guys. There's no way she's making it through the night, but we're gonna try our best. A little bit is better than nothing. Hey, they're not doing too bad, actually. Of course, now that I said that they weren't gonna sleep through the night, they'll sleep. They will sleep. Oh, here we go. 5 loves wake up time. Well, that's nice, but can wake up time be a little bit later, do you think? Now, of course, with the infants, they are the bane of my existence at this point, in every single sense and in every single thing that I'm doing right now. With the member Vlad challenge, they are a challenge, okay? With Agnes Crumplebottom, obviously, as we see, they are also a problem. And of course, in the Apocalypse challenge, it is worse than you could possibly imagine. It is worse than you could possibly imagine, so but one thing at a time, one day at a time, one nanny at a time, honestly. I think with Vlad, the only thing that's helping us is that he's a vampire, so he doesn't actually get tired, he doesn't have to use the washroom, and so I think that's doing wonders for him. So, good for him. Agnes, not so much. Agnes almost needs, like, a live-in butler. but we just simply don't have the space or the money to invest in creating a space for the butler. So, we're not quite there yet, but I would say we we will be. Oh my. There you go, using the washroom, there's kids are putting plates on the toilet while you're using it. This is what dreams are made of. That's beautiful. The nanny, I feel, is a little bit lost and not really sure where to start. I see that he's focused on the infants, which is, nice. It's nice. Um, but, like, toddlers need help too, they're all filthy. I talk a little bit about this with, like, Vlad and his whole journey, but, um, I I wish that we had a kind of system where we could send the kids to daycare. I wish that we still had the Sims 2 system where we could send kids to boarding school, and it's just like a rabbit hole, essentially. I don't think it would be that complicated to apply. You know what I mean? It would literally just be their school, extending their school rabbit hole system, right? Um, and then they would just have to apply the same kind of school system to the toddlers where they would be going to daycare instead. There are things that I wish for that I feel are much simpler than others, but that is one of the simple things that they could make happen. I mean, obviously, teenagers' schooling is looking a bit different now that you can actually go to school with them, but you don't have to go to boarding school with the teenager, you can just, send them on their way. I think that it was really nice because you could send them to boarding school, and yes, they would get out of the house, and they would only come back to age up, but they were learning skills. You could choose your boarding school according to, the arts. There was a military one that focused on, fitness and other things, and there was just a bunch of different, options that you had, and you could send your kids, and then they're just learning and they're outside of the house, and, that, for me, is one of the main reasons that Sims 2 is just top tier, okay? Sims 3 had something similar, but, um yeah. Wait, is it Sims 3 where they go and then Sims 2 is the now I'm confused. Now I'm confused. They both had the same kind of idea, I feel. One of them had you had to call a headmaster, and the headmaster would come over and check out your house, and that's check out your house, and you'd have to make him a meal, and that's how he decided if your children were worthy of being put in a private school. Yeah, that was listen, there are certain things that could be brought back that would just elevate this gameplay to a whole new level, and those could be base game things. But yeah, I there are things that I miss about the other Sims games that I wish were in The Sims 4 that would just make it top tier. All right, so we've got everything semi under control. The toddlers are sleeping. 4 is actually exhausted. Agnes, sleep, darling. Why isn't she sleeping? Here we go. Okay, there we go. Nanny is like, he's got nothing left almost, but he's still cleaning up the mess here. Oh, he's cooking for us. What a doll. Oh no, they're awake. Who is awake and angry? He's like, woo, a stench in here. Wouldn't you believe it? They all smell awful. Now, for those of you who have never used the butler, I have used it once. Okay, it is pricey. Like, they're pretty pricey, and they're, live-in, so you kinda have to have, a portion of your house, dedicated to them where they can have, a place to sleep, so usually it looks like a little apartment, you know what I mean? Or maybe that's just the way I set it up. Maybe you don't actually need that and they just need somewhere to sleep, but from what I see from what I saw when I had one, um, they did need their own little place, and so we just we do not have the space for that, Eventually, I will have to make the house a bit bigger. I mean, honestly, 7 kids plus Agnes, right? And eventually a butler. So we'll need, like, a butler quarter. We definitely need a room where the babies can go, like, ideally. We need another bathroom for sure. We need a space for her to go to be able to do her ceramics. The living room is an okay size. We'll just make a living room out of it. I also want a huge playroom to put all of these things in. But for right now, we are just throwing them in the living room. We are just throwing them in the living room. I'm adding a bunch of things that toddlers can do. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I think do I wanna use the rest of this money? I mean, we're gonna add some light to the life here. Like I said, this is a house that I built, like, a while ago, guys, like, a long while ago, and we did not have all the packs that we do now, so it needs a little bit of a facelift, and we're gonna give it that. The walls, I don't hate the base game walls with the baseboards. I wish we had a lot more colors. But yeah, so we will just add a little bit of spice to the kitchen, okay? And add some color. Yeah, that's about it for now, but I do like I said, I do want a space for like, a room for the babies, a space for her to do her ceramics, which I guess could be in the same room because the babies don't stay babies for long. And then, maybe a butler quarter and definitely, definitely another bathroom or 2 because I think we're gonna struggle. I do think we're gonna struggle, but we're okay. We're okay right now. That's my saying of this entire part 2, okay? We're okay for now. It's rough, but we're okay. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. The kids are playing on the slide. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. I think eventually we're gonna remove, like see where this second door is where she's passing through right now? I think we're gonna remove that and the walls so that the walls can actually be down there and I can see what's happening. I know a lot of you, like, hate on the half walls because technically everything looks like it's in the same location, but for me, when I'm I have to see everything going on, especially when there's, like, a lot of people in the household, I like to see everything. So, for me, like, full walls just don't work. I've tried them before, and they're just not my jam. I would love to be someone who played with, like, the walls up and just got a bird's eye view, but that's just not me. So, sometimes I zoom in to get, like, a good look. Oh my goodness, look at the size of her belly. She's not ready to have a baby yet. She just had one, right? I think she just had one. Look at the kids. Oh my goodness, these slides are so cute. I love them so much. I wish we had slides for the children, okay? Well, I mean, technically we do, I guess, with the treehouse, which I'm hoping we do have one on this lot eventually, but again, it's not immediate, right? Because we need to focus on the house first and making sure that we have enough money and that she's at least got, like, 1 potion of youth in her inventory for when we need it. And obviously having children, hello. So we only have 2 slots left, which is wild to me. It's absolutely wild that we only have 2 more children left to fill this house, and she is pregnant with number 6. So I don't wanna say maybe 6 or 7 because I think I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that, but I think possibly 6 and 7. Oh, she has gone into labor. Oh, Agnes, darling, already? Let's have this baby. Baby number 6. Here we go. Okay. Come on, Agnes. Oh my goodness. Did I just click pause? Guys, at this point, I do it out of habit because here's the thing. Oh, it's a boy. Oh, I love that. Yeah, at this point, like, pressing pause is like an automatic for me. From the apocalypse challenge to whatever is happening and everything else, like, the minute that there's too many Sims on the lot for me, which is like 4 Sims, I I start pausing to make sure that they're doing what I'm telling them to and making sure that they're not, like, struggling too much. But I dare say that eventually we will be putting, like, full autonomy on the Sims, even like, toddlers are pretty self-sufficient if you let them, you know what I mean? So, yeah, they can, like, entertain themselves and go use the potty. They can do all those things on their own and, like, meet their own needs for the most part, except for food. So we will eventually have to get one of those, like, refrigerators where they can just reach in for food, but other than that, they can do most things on their own, so that way, we only really have to focus on the infants and the babies. So, oh my goodness, they're so miserable, you guys. They're so, so miserable. It's because there's 3 of them. I mean, cut me some slack. Technically, there's 4 toddlers. I recognize that. There's 4 toddlers plus an infant, and infants are just basically like mini toddlers. I don't but they're worse because they're so needy, like, I don't know. I don't know. But the good news is that they're all tired, so guess what? Bedtime, girls. Oh, I'm so excited that we're starting to have some boy babies because honestly, the Apocalypse Challenge, like, all girls, just everybody girls, and, every single time that there was a miscarriage, I think there's been, like, 3 or 4, and they've all been boys. We haven't had any boys in the Apocalypse Challenge. Not that it much matters for the sake of the challenge, but kinda sad, you know? It's sad. So, hopefully, I don't know, maybe this next generation with them, maybe by some stroke of luck, we'll see a boy baby. I mean, listen. Okay, so we've got a million and one salads on the go. It's very late at night, but 4 is really struggling, isn't she? She needs food. So, eat, young grasshopper, and then go to bed. So, in the meantime, I am getting Agnes to work on her ceramics because that is the only way that she's making money, and it's doing okay. Like, I don't often really, like, talk about it, but pottery is kind of the new painting. And what do I mean by that? It is and it isn't. Okay. So, for example, painting, you're going to start off, you're not making any money, right? Because the cost of your canvases, sometimes you don't make that much on your painting. So, you're like losing money for the first little bit. And then eventually, you reach a point where you're making so much money, you've got leftover money. You've got money you don't know what to do with. You've got money to wash the walls with, you know? You're using it to cook your breakfast. Okay. Um, you're it's like quilting money together to put on your bed. Pottery, I call it the new painting because when you do pottery, there is a, like, money diversity in it depending on the quality. Okay, so the better the quality, the more money you're gonna make, but you're not ever making less than what you paid for it. You're always making money on it. However, there is a limit to that. So, even the most expensive thing, which is going to make you a ton of money, still has its limits. You're not going to create a masterpiece like you would in painting. It's not like skyrocketing your money like that, but it is a good money maker, okay? So, it is a sure money maker, is kinda how I'm gonna describe it. So, it is good. I would call it the new painting, to a certain limit, but it does have value, so that's what we're using with Agnes here, because at first, I really wanted to make sure that she was bringing in money, because by the time we bought the lot that she's on, because it's huge, it's a massive lot, because I didn't know how long we would be with her, how many kids we would have. 90% of the time, I would say we're gonna have a full house, which is 7 kids. So, I wanted enough space to make the most of it, okay? So, eventually, maybe a swimming pool, um what's happening here? Irving Elder. Oh my goodness, did the game just bring me to an elder fox passing, like, expiring, not even on the lot, and we're just, what, meant to watch that? How sad. Don't do that to me. Moving on. Okay. Alright, so we've called the nanny again, quite obviously. I mean, listen, okay, there's no judging here, alright? Yeah, we can have a live-in nanny. I suppose the butler would do the same, but he kinda does everything. Like, the toddlers are just what is the matter with them? They're so angry, and um, wish I cared more that they were angry at this point, but you have got to be kidding me. Cut me some slack, okay? I'm so sorry for the fox, but we don't need to watch that. I mean, hello, Grim, but we don't need to watch that. Right, so it is Six's birthday, so then we will have another infant in the house. Oh my. Oh, everybody's everybody's going to watch 5, oh my good 4, go home, darling. What did you do? Go watch the fox? Sweetie, he's gone. Oh my goodness. This game sometimes just makes me laugh a little bit. Okay, these kids are in rough shape. The hunger we can deal with pretty quickly. So, mm, oh my. Oh, here's 4. She's still, like, walking home. She just she doesn't even know what's happening right now. She's just, like, wandering at this point. Okay, so we're gonna get her to vacuum. Can we put the food away? Where is 4? You guys, look at these kids. Like, the bathroom is not a place for you to put plates down. Can we can we maybe have, like, a base game update where we don't put plates on bathroom plumbing? Is that too much of an ask? I'm just wondering, like, can that be a part of the next laundry list? Keep the dishes off of the plumbing, please and thank you. Like, there's no need of it, really. Oh, here we are. She's slow and steady wins the race. You know, there's something about, toddlers when they start walking and stuff before they get to, like, level 3. By level 3, they're kinda walking a bit better, but, like, level 1 and 2 is just it's so funny. They're just like wibble wobble, you know? I love that. It is 1 a.m. though, and she should get some sleep, so we're gonna throw this out in the money-making trash can and throw the dirty dishes out. We're gonna feed Agnes before she goes to bed, because Lord knows when she wakes up, it'll be because all the kids are screaming and yelling, so best get those nutrients in right now. We're gonna wait till she's done, and everybody is sleeping. Ah, so peaceful. Look at that. You know, when this happens, it's like success. And then 5 goes and ruins it on me. You know what? 5, you're just gonna have to wait, okay? You're just gonna have to wait. So, 3rd trimester is in 12 hours, so we will only see baby 7, who is going to fill the house, um, in part 3. So, like, I feel like this is going really well. Okay, I feel like we're doing pretty good here with this here challenge. I am going to lock the door for the animals, and I am going to disallow vampires, okay? Because I don't want any more rabbits in the house. I don't want the foxes in the house either. Um, and you know what? With this money that we now have, because we've made quite a bit, we're just gonna go in before we have to go for the end of the week and place our island that we normally have so that we can make cakes because I dare say that the toddlers are going to need cakes in the coming weeks. And by the coming weeks, I literally mean when we come back for part 3. All right, that's not looking too bad, guys. We are starting to have what looks like a kitchen, which is super exciting. But it is Sunday, and until next time, see ya.